Some people pass through life without ever noticing the rare moments that try to speak to them. Others, awake and watchful, feel them like a whisper at the edge of silence. These moments arrive without warning. A day that looks ordinary to most suddenly becomes charged with meaning. The 13th of September is such a day. Not because of superstition, not because of luck in the shallow sense. Its power lies in alignment, when the readiness inside you meets a sign outside you. For some, it becomes a mirror, showing who they are becoming. For others, it is a trigger, a call to awaken from the drift of routine. In this teaching, I will walk with you into the heart of what makes a moment rare. You will learn why attention is more powerful than chance, why awareness transforms coincidence into guidance, and how signs only appear to those who are prepared to see. I will reveal lessons from Shaolin wisdom, disciplines and practices that turn fleeting moments into stepping stones for mastery. You will hear truths about alignment, presence, and the stillness that allows the uncommon to reveal itself. Stay until the end, because these lessons are not simple encouragements. They are keys that must be carried in your daily life. Without them, the date passes, the sign fades, and nothing changes. With them, you unlock a rhythm of awareness that turns rare moments into lasting transformation. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire, a place where wisdom and fire meet. If you feel called to this journey, subscribe now and walk with us deeper into the art of self-mastery. The strength of your life is hidden in the direction of your gaze. Where your attention rests, your energy follows. Many people live as if pulled by invisible strings, screens, noise, opinions, memories. Their attention scatters like leaves in the wind, and so the deeper signs of life pass them by unseen. At the Shaolin temple, a student once asked me, "Master, why do I never feel the clarity others speak of?" I pointed to the flowing river nearby. "Look at the surface," I told him. The water rippled with wind, reflecting nothing. Then I asked him to wait until the breeze calmed. The surface stilled, and suddenly the trees, the sky, the very mountain revealed themselves perfectly. "Your mind is the same," I said. "When disturbed, it cannot reflect truth. When calm, everything appears." This is why attention must be trained. It is not enough to force focus for a moment. You must cultivate the inner observer, the part of you that notices thoughts and emotions without being carried away by them. When anger rises, you see it. When fear whispers, you hear it, but you do not become it. This silent watcher is your greatest ally. The more you live from this inner observer, the less your attention is stolen by distraction. Then, when life offers you a rare sign, a moment of clarity, a symbol, a chance to shift, you do not miss it. You see, and you know. Attention is the gatekeeper of your reality. If it is weak, the world decides for you. If it is strong, you decide for the world. Every life is shaped by invisible patterns. Thoughts that repeat day after day, emotions that rise before we even know why, reactions that feel automatic. These patterns are like grooves in the earth. The more water flows through them, the deeper they become. Soon the current of habit carries you, and you mistake it for choice. Ancient teachings remind us that mastery begins with seeing these grooves clearly. To recognize conditioning is not to condemn yourself. It is to step back and realize this is not who I am, it is only what I have practiced. The anger that sparks, the doubt that whispers, the sadness that lingers, these are masks. Beneath them waits the self that is untouched, silent, and whole. But clarity rarely comes from thought alone. That is why the old masters demanded practice with the body. In martial training, the mind confronts resistance it cannot escape. Muscles tire, breath burns, balance falters. Each failure strips away the illusion of control. You cannot pretend to be strong when your body trembles. You cannot hide behind clever words when fatigue demands honesty. Qigong too reveals the truth. Movements appear gentle yet require unwavering attention. The mind that wanders breaks the flow, the body that tenses interrupts the breath. Soon you see, discipline is not punishment, but refinement. Repetition carves new grooves, new patterns, ones born of balance, patience, and strength. Through such practice, the masks begin to fall. You discover not the self shaped by habit, but the self shaped by awareness. And in that still space, the one beneath conditioning, you meet the part of you that has always been free. Discipline is often misunderstood. Many think it means forcing the self with harshness, pushing beyond limits through sheer will. But true discipline is gentler, quieter, and far more enduring. It is the ability to act with consistency, not depending on the rise and fall of mood. At dawn in the temple, the bell rings. Whether rain falls or the body aches, the students rise. They bow, they breathe, they train. Not because they always feel ready, but because readiness is built through ritual. The body learns, the mind follows, and soon the spirit grows steady. Repetition, though often feared, is a secret path to mastery. A movement practiced 10 times remains clumsy. 1,000 times, it begins to flow. 10,000 times, it disappears into the body. No longer an action, but an expression. In this way, the ordinary becomes extraordinary, not by sudden inspiration, but by faithful return. Structure too carries wisdom. To the undisciplined mind, structure feels like a cage, but to the one who walks the path, it is a gate. When time is ordered, energy is not wasted on constant choice. When rituals shape the day, the mind is freed from chaos. Structure becomes the soil where freedom grows. The bird in the sky seems free, yet its flight follows invisible currents of wind. The river seems wild, yet it is the banks that guide its strength. So it is with discipline. Ritual and repetition do not bind you. They guide your force, protect your energy, and reveal a freedom deeper than mood or whim could ever offer. True strength is never only hard, and true gentleness is never only soft. In the Shaolin way, balance is the heart of mastery. The warrior who knows only force becomes brittle. The one who knows only yielding becomes weak. But when strength and gentleness flow together, there is harmony. Life itself demands this balance. We move between effort and rest, speaking and silence, action and stillness. Yet most suffering arises when these rhythms are broken. We expect life to obey our will, but reality has its own current. When expectation collides with what is, the mind resists. This resistance is the seed of frustration, anger, despair. The path is not to crush expectation, but to see it clearly and loosen its grip. Acceptance is the first step. Acceptance does not mean surrendering to weakness. It means standing where you are without denial. From here, adaptability follows. When the storm shifts the river does not break. It bends, and by bending, it continues its journey. In training, this lesson is constant. Muscles ache, balance fails, fatigue interrupts. If you fight against these realities, your spirit collapses. If you accept them, adjust the breath, adjust the stance, a new strength rises. What once felt like defeat becomes a lesson in resilience. Balance is not a state to achieve once and hold forever. It is a practice, a continual returning. Like breathing in and breathing out, it asks you to adjust again and again. Strength and gentleness, expectation and reality, action and being, all are threads of the same fabric. When they are woven together with awareness, harmony is restored and suffering begins to dissolve. The body never lies. Where the mind hides behind excuses or stories, the body reveals the truth. In practice, this truth rises quickly. Muscles shake, lungs burn, balance wavers. The body speaks clearly. Here is your resistance, here is your chaos. Many view pain, fatigue, even injury as enemies. Yet the ancient path teaches they are messengers. Pain points to where awareness is missing. Fatigue reminds you of limits that must be respected. Injury forces patience and humility, stripping away pride. Each of these, though unwelcome, carries wisdom. They show you where the spirit still clings, where the mind still resists. Through practice, something deeper unfolds. Movements, repeated with care, open hidden chambers of the self. A single stance held long enough reveals not only the strength of your legs, but the restlessness of your mind. Breath guided with discipline steadies the waves of thought. Posture aligned with intention awakens a stillness you did not know was possible. It is a paradox. The more you move, The more you sweat, the more the body strains, the closer you come to silence within. This is why training is never only physical. It is a mirror reflecting back the storms of emotion and the clutter of thought. By meeting these storms through discipline, by listening to what the body teaches, you pass through struggle into calm. Stillness is not escape. It is the strength that remains after the fire of practice has burned away what is false. The body, once seen as an obstacle, becomes the doorway. Through movement, breath, and posture, you do not just discover stillness, you become it. The mind is like a river, carrying countless thoughts downstream. Most drift along unaware, swept away by the current. Meditation is the art of stepping onto the bank, watching the flow without being carried. In that watching, patterns reveal themselves. You begin to see how often the same fears return, how the same desires circle back, how restlessness weaves itself through the day. Awareness exposes what was hidden. Silence deepens this awareness. In silence, the noise of the world fades, and the subtler voices of the inner world grow clear. A small tension in the chest, a fleeting worry, a sudden pull of memory, all become visible. Stillness sharpens perception the way night sharpens the glow of stars. Signs that once seemed rare or invisible now appear, not because they were absent, but because you had not been still enough to notice. This practice need not belong only to long hours on a cushion. Even small moments matter. A conscious breath before speaking, a pause before reacting, a minute of quiet before sleep. These fragments of mindfulness stitch together into a fabric of presence. Over time, they change how you move through life. In ancient practice, monks would stop in the middle of labor to return to a single breath, not to escape their work, but to remember themselves within it. You too can do this in the midst of your own day. It is not the length of stillness that transforms you, but the sincerity of your return to it. Meditation and mindfulness do not add anything new. They peel away the layers that hide what is already present. Through silence and stillness. You begin to see not only the patterns of your mind, but the subtle signs life places gently in your path. What you push away does not disappear. It waits in the shadows, gathering weight, returning again and again until it is faced. Resistance creates chains, while honest confrontation loosens them. To process what rises, fear, grief, anger, is to allow it space, to breathe through it, to see what it tries to teach before letting it pass. Suppression is like sealing water in a jar. Pressure builds, cracks form, and one day it bursts. Processing is like guiding the water back into the river where it belongs. Impermanence is the master who reminds us that nothing stays. Seasons shift, bodies age, circumstances change. Even joy and sorrow, as solid as they feel, are passing clouds. To cling to them is to suffer, to release them is to walk in rhythm with life itself. Letting go is not loss. It is trust in the current that carries you forward. Rare moments often call for such release. They arrive like mirrors, showing you the weight you no longer need to carry. A date, an encounter, a sign, these are not accidents. They are invitations. Invitations to loosen the grip on an old wound, an outdated belief, a fixed identity that no longer serves. The burden of the past is heavy, but it is also familiar. Many hold it tightly out of habit, mistaking it for the self. Yet when you set it down, you discover space for new clarity, for new strength. In this way, rare moments are not merely unusual, they are turning points. They whisper, let go, step forward, and when you listen, you find that release is not emptiness, but freedom. A rare moment carries no meaning on its own. It is like a flame, small, fragile, easily overlooked. What gives it weight is the purpose you bring to it. Without clarity, the flame flickers and dies. With purpose, it becomes fire that lights the path ahead. Clarity of purpose does not mean rigid plans or fixed outcomes. It means knowing the direction of your heart. When you understand why you walk, each step becomes deliberate. Then, when a sign appears, an opening, a challenge, a chance, it no longer feels random. It becomes part of the journey you have already chosen. Intent is the fuel of this journey. Intention shapes the unseen. To move without it is to wander, but to move with it is to create. The question is not only what you want, but what you are willing to live for, what you are ready to embody. Every thought, every action, every choice plants a seed. Which seeds do you nurture? Which harvest are you preparing for? The danger is living only by external expectation. Many walk the path others have written for them, parents, society, ambition that belongs to someone else. They may reach success, but inside they feel hollow. True alignment asks for courage to act in a way that reflects inner truth, even when it defies approval. In ancient stories, the disciple bows before the master not to copy his life, but to learn how to find his own. The same is asked of you. To meet rare moments with clarity and intent is to say, this is who I am, this is the path I walk. And from that alignment, even the smallest signs become powerful guides. Storms do not ask permission before they arrive. One moment the sky is clear, the next it breaks open with thunder. Life is no different. Unpredictable events appear suddenly, loss, change, opportunity, challenge. Mastery is not the power to control these storms, but the strength to remain centered within them. The breath is the first anchor. When the world shakes, the breath steadies the body and the body steadies the mind. A single conscious inhale, a slow exhale, and already the storm feels less overwhelming. Breath is the cord that ties you to the present, reminding you that here and now you are alive, capable, and unbroken. Discipline is the second anchor. A steady practice builds resilience long before it is needed. Just as a tree grows deep roots before the storm, discipline lays foundations of strength. Rising each day to train, meditate, or return to ritual is not only preparation, it is transformation. When chaos comes, you are not searching for balance, you are already rooted in it. Presence is the third anchor. To be fully here, in this moment, dissolves the fear of what may come and the weight of what has passed. Presence allows you to meet life as it is, not as you wish it to be. In this space, even rare signs, a certain day, a sudden event, an unexpected message are seen clearly without exaggeration or fear. To stay centered is not to be unmoved, but to be unshaken. The storm may bend you, but it cannot break you. With breath, discipline, and presence, you stand as the mountain stands, still, enduring, and awake to the rare beauty hidden even within the chaos. Across history, certain dates and moments have carried weight, not because time itself holds magic, but because the human spirit is tuned to patterns. A symbol on a day like the 13th of September is not a command from the heavens, but a reflection, a meeting point of archetype, alignment, and synchronicity. It is the dance between inner readiness and outer sign. Archetypes are ancient patterns that live in every culture, the hero's journey, the teacher's wisdom, the renewal after loss. When a date or symbol awakens something within you, it is often these timeless patterns stirring. Alignments of stars, seasons, or even collective attention can amplify this sense of significance, and synchronicity, as described by the sages, is when the outer world reflects the inner state so precisely that chance alone feels insufficient. Not everyone notices. Some pass through life blind to these signals. Others, through discipline and mindfulness, awaken enough to perceive them. Lucky people are not truly lucky. They are attentive. They have trained the eye of the spirit, so when a sign crosses their path, they recognize it. To them, coincidence becomes confirmation, a reminder that their journey is aligned. Yet wisdom demands discernment. Not every shadow is a message, not every number a prophecy. The difference lies in the fruit it bears. A meaningful symbol deepens awareness, strengthens clarity, invites growth. Empty superstition, by contrast, breeds fear, dependency, and confusion. The test is simple. Does this sign call you to awaken, or does it trap you in fear? When you learn this discernment, dates like the 13th of September shift from superstition to sacred mirror. They become reminders not of fate written outside you, but of alignment unfolding within you. Before a rare day arrives, prepare yourself, quiet the mind, set a clear intention, and step into it with openness. When the moment comes, do not grasp or chase, simply observe. Be present enough to notice what stirs within and around you, and afterward, take time to reflect. Write what you felt, what you saw, what shifted inside. These small acts weave the rare into the fabric of daily life. The lesson is simple yet deep. Meaning is not found in the date itself, but in the awareness you bring to it. By preparing, by observing, by reflecting, you turn passing moments into lasting transformation. May this rhythm guide you not only on the 13th of September, but through all the days that follow. Walk with silence, with presence, with gratitude, and the uncommon will reveal itself again and again. If this teaching has spoken to you, let your support flow back. Like this video, share your thoughts, and subscribe to our channel, Shaolin Soulfire. Together, we walk the path of wisdom and inner fire.